Hey guys, it's Angela and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I like posting videos about beauty, lifestyle, and travel. And one of those things in lifestyle that I love sharing with you guys is my home. And so for today's video, we are jumping right in and I'm showing you what I did and the little touches in my home for the fall season. Now, I know that it's the end of the fall season and people are already starting to put out Christmas decorations. And yes, I will be doing Christmas videos, but I'm a little late to the game with sharing my fall decorations, and life just kind of got away and got super busy because I launched a business a few weeks ago, and that is MW Home. Please go and check those out. I will have the information linked down below. I wanted to still go ahead and give you a home tour and capture the memories and the ideas I had in this apartment while living here in South Korea. So I think this video would also be great for anybody who is moving into the Camp Walker Towers for future holidays, just some ideas in how you can decorate your space. So I typically don't go for your traditional fall colors with the reds and the oranges and the yellows. I don't love a lot of warm tone colors to begin with, so a lot of my colors in my house are blue. As you can see, this is kind of like the color palette, this picture back here, that I use throughout my space. And so I like taking traditional fall items but turning them to fit my home and my aesthetics, so they're not quite out of place. And also, in addition to that, I do things on a budget. So a lot of these items are super affordable. I tend to pick up a couple items every year that are a little more expensive or a little more pricey, and then incorporate more affordable options as well. And in addition to buying items that are ready to go, I do a lot of DIYs, and so I will also be talking about some of those DIYs as we go through. If you haven't checked out my 4 DIY fall decoration videos, I will link it. I forget what site it's on, but I'll link it as well as down in the description below. Please go check that out, and it might even give you some ideas for other holidays. So let's jump into what I have going on around the house. So starting off here in the hallway, I changed this wreath out with all the seasons. I just have some green eucalyptus and some other random green leaves. And what I will do is I will pop those flowers out and put a new flower in for whatever season it may be. So this was my fall. I loved these green pumpkins, and you'll see them a couple times throughout my house. It's a velvet pumpkin. Again, I don't like a lot of the orange and yellows, so that is what I used instead, is like the green and the whites, and then you'll see some blues and stuff. And then just down here, I found this cute little crate from Daiso, which, if you don't know how, because I talk about it all the time on my channel, but Daiso is a Korean dollar store where everything is $5 and below. So I picked that crate up. I will be using that again for the next season. And then these pumpkins are some fabric pumpkins I created. These are from old t-shirts, and then that's from an old sweater. Super cute. And yeah, this big guy, I fell in love. I don't love like traditional Halloween decorations. I tend to go for spooky Halloween decorations. So he was a steal. My local store carried it. It's the Postal Exchange store, PX. They sold him for only $25. Anywhere else in the States, he'd probably be $50, $75, maybe even $100, because he's like a pretty good size if you like see my hand for comparison. So, and he's heavy, but that light is also really good. It like lights up my whole door. And then those I just picked up from the thrift store, just a cute pair of little witch's boots, and then they had some black greenery faux plants in it. I will change those up as the years go on, but for this year it worked. It was one of my thrifted items. And then I, for the first time ever, attempted to paint one of those grass rugs. And it's cute. I don't love it, but I do love the layered look, so I will be switching that rug out for the future seasons. But for the fall, it kind of matched and gave you an idea of like what to expect when you go inside the apartment. So heading into the apartment, only a couple changes. I changed out that wreath. We'll do an up close shot of that, as well as updated the decor here on this shelf. And I also put this chalkboard sign in. Again, it's something that I can switch out for every season. If I have a friend's birthday or like my birthday's coming up, we can do cute little sayings on that. I think everybody needs to have some sort of chalkboard wall or chalkboard sign in their home. Bonus points if it's in the entryway or in a kitchen, because so cute. You can do so many ideas with having a chalkboard sign in your home. So moving on to the entry shelf, I have over here just a little DIY project that I did last year with a couple of my friends. I did the pumpkin on this side, and I always try to think of a way to make things serve more than one purpose. So on the other side, in like a week or so, boom, it's Christmas now. And back to the fall. So double-sided, and it's just a piece of lumber that you can get from your local lumber store like Home Depot or Lowe's if you have those. Here I just have some eucalyptus and some olive branches mixed in. It was mostly just trying to find something cute to fill the space. And all 4 of my glass pumpkins, I have 2 like this and 2 other ones, are from HomeGoods / TJ Maxx. I picked the other ones up a few years ago, and these ones I got 2 years ago. Oh, I lied, Marshall's. And those were only 10 bucks. So definitely one of the better places to go. And down here on the next shelf, I made that sign back there. That was one of the signs that I was selling on my MW home. I do still have one more available, so if you're interested, definitely find me on Instagram or comment down below, and we'll get in touch with each other. But currently at this time, I have one more available, and I just turned him on. But this ghost, and I have a couple other figurines that light up, but he's super cute. I got him for $5 at my Daiso. I put in a little bit of dried grass into this vase just to give it a little more of a fall vibe. A wood pumpkin. I think this one's from Marshall's. Yep, for $4.99. Really love this. This was another one of my DIYs for this year. They're these really super dense foam pumpkins that I painted using the method of adding cornstarch to get a chalk matte-like texture. And then that pumpkin I got a couple years ago from Joann Fabrics. Moving into the kitchen, I didn't do a ton in here. Again, just little touches. So over at the coffee station, I switched out my coffee sign for this pumpkin spice and everything nice that I made last year. I used a Dollar Tree canvas, a acrylic marker that you can get, and just kind of painted some pumpkins on so just matches the decor. This placemat is from IKEA. It's just a plain teal one to kind of bring in that color. And then over here on the microwave, in this little dessert dish, I just always switch it out. If it's not during a holiday, sometimes I just have like garlic sitting in there. But these are just little styrofoam pumpkins from the dollar store. That one back there is actually from Target. It came in a 4-pack of black and white ones, and I painted the black ones green last year. And then down here, I just have this vase that I got from my thrift store, but it's actually from like flowers.com, like one of those delivery flower services. And I just filled it with some greenery and a tiny touch of a grass to give it a fall vibe. And then up here, I switched out what's usually back there for this sign. And this one, I have a smaller version, so it doesn't have the twine around it. Also for sale, I have one left for MW Home. But just cute little harvest sign. Over at my kitchen sink, I just put a little ceramic pumpkin back here. It does light up, but I left the batteries on at Halloween and now it's dead, and since it's the end of the season, I'm not going to replace them, but I just have him there. Of course, I have apples. Nate and I actually went apple picking. I'm going to upload that video in a few days. It's going to be a really short vlog, but we got fresh apples, some leftover Halloween candy. Please, somebody come eat this. And then these are persimmons, and we have to use those up in the next day or two. Up here, this is the wall between my kitchen and my dining room, and every season I switch these out for different looks. So I just popped in a tiny bit of a rust orange faux plant here, and then these greenery pieces that have a tiny bit of orange. And I don't love orange, but I'm okay with a tiny bit like that because it does pick up on the copper tones of my house. And then I did a matching but larger version of these up there. I love my thankful sign. I got it last year from Marshall's. Super adorable. Then moving down from the thankful sign, nothing changed there. Here, I just added this crystal skull, and I'm gonna insert a clip because at night when it's a little bit darker in here, the way that shined through the crystal was so good. Love that. And then I just added a little orange pumpkin here, just something cute to again bring in that orangey coppery color. Again, I don't love orange, so you don't see a lot of it in my house. And over here I have a wreath that I just finished taking pictures for to upload to MW Home's Instagram. So that doesn't stay there, but that hook is there from last year's Christmas stuff, so it's a nice wall for me to use. And then as for my dining room table, guys, I love doing centerpieces. However, I host a lot of game nights or craft nights or whatever with my friends. So I need a way to like quickly pick this up if I need to use it. And so what I do is I always put it on a tiered tray, or I'll have like one thing kind of long. So everything except these items here on a tiered tray. So I can literally lift this whole thing up and then just move these out of the way. This is the other pumpkin I was talking about. This was what started it all. I saw these and fell in love with them. I've had them for about 4 or 5 years now. They've been in Ohio, they've been in South Korea the last 2 years. I love my teal pumpkins so much. And then just some eucalyptus. This is from IKEA. More of those faux painted pumpkins. This was meant to give it like a cement look. Again, something I was selling with MW Home. More of the green velvet pumpkins from the dollar store that I picked up. They were sold like on this pick, so I've used those there. And then guys, this is literally weeds from outside, but look at how perfect and festive and fall those are. They're green while they're still growing, and then if you pick them, you can dry them, and they dry this color, and then I just kind of bunch them together, and I have them in these cute little bud vases from the dollar store. So love my centerpiece. Oh, and then this beautiful table runner I got last year because I really wanted something to match my pumpkins that I've had for a few years now, and I found these. I think this one was Home Goods, but I am obsessed. I'll never get rid of these. I love, love, love this runner. Moving into the living room, I just have a fall blanket down there with a big fabric pumpkin that I made. A little fall welcome sign. There's a lady who does a blog, I'll link it down below. She does free printouts, and she had something in the center. I just kind of removed it with Photoshop and put my welcome sign, or like my little words welcome, in there. I thought that was super cute. And then this is a faux pampas grass that I got from, once again, Daiso. This is from a Korean store here called Modern House. Love that. I actually want to pick up another one of those. And then moving into the couch, I have some white IKEA pillows, and then this pillow here, as well as that pillow here, is in that fall DIY video, so make sure you go and check that out. And this pillow, once again, I picked it up last year from either TJ Maxx or Home Goods. And then when you're sitting on the couch, you get the cute vibe over here, and I have more fabric pumpkins that I made, and I just kind of piled them up. And then on the shelves, just little touches of fall with the pumpkins. Again, painted one up there, Target, and then a fabric one I made this year, and that one's actually from leggings. That one's in that video, so make sure you check that out. And then I added these white fall flowers into what's normally my eucalyptus arrangements, and I just love the vibe that it created for both of those. And then in the bedroom, it's so subtle in here, but I love, love, love the way it turned out. We have an Eevee on the bed, giving us all the tan vibes for the fall. Also, I made this Hello Pumpkin pillow, and I will be making Christmas pillows as well. But this one here, I made it where it like slips on and then just ties, so there's no zipper or anything like that. Love the way that turned out. Fun fact, my nickname is Pumpkinhead from my dad, so I love pumpkins. It just happened, okay? We have a little arrangement here, again, using those same flowers that are in my living room and the grass that I've sprinkled throughout my house. And then a little miniature wreath above my sign, again, using the same elements I've used throughout my house. And it's all about making things cohesive, but having them all work separately as well. And then over here in the window, I just have these couple fall pumpkins. Again, this one is from Target. This is actually my favorite one I made out of all of them because it's the first one I did. It's the one that started it all. I was playing with some of the leftover fabric that I used. This is a sweater dress that I had, and I used the fabric for my pillows, had some extra, and I still have a little bit more left too, and attempted to make a stuffed pumpkin, and I love the way it turned out. It's definitely my favorite. And then not too much over here on the TV stand, but I did want to give it a little something so then that way when you're laying in bed, there's something. So I have the extra one of these pumpkins here, as well as what was left over of the grass I had clipped. And I just put it in a painted wine bottle, but I like how that definitely gives it some height. So yeah. And then here in the office, Nate and I spend a ton of time in here. Nate is currently in here gaming, but I just have a fall scented candle there burning, a cute little jack-o'-lantern for Nate, and then the miniature versions of our big guy that's in the hallway. These light up in LED colored lights and the lights change, but again the batteries are dead because it's the end of the season and I'm not replacing them because I'm gonna have to pack them away anyways, and you should never pack your stuff with batteries in it. In Nathan's bathroom slash the guest bathroom, I really didn't do much. I just added our cute little bat to this tray, as well as a little fall pumpkin that he picked out. This was just to give him vibes in here, as well as guests when they come over. And that is it for the home tour. Like I said, I did little subtle touches for fall. I definitely like it to be warm and cozy and inviting. And if I was hosting Thanksgiving this year, I would keep my fall decorations up until Thanksgiving. However, I'm not hosting this year, so I'm excited to get my Christmas decorations out. I will be sharing all of the goodies. There will be tons of Christmas videos, so make sure you are subscribed to my channel and hit that bell notification so you get notified every single time that I upload. And that's it, guys. I will see you in the next video. I hope you guys have a great day and happy fall season or happy holidays, whatever your mood is striking you. I hope you just enjoy this time of year and let's make the most of what is left of 2020. Mwah. Bye.